What's up, YouTube? I'm Jonathan Panda, aka Reviews for Success, and I'm back. Today, we're going to talk about how the stock market moved today. It is August 22nd, 2025. And if you made money today, go ahead, leave a like, and also let me know how much you made in the comments. Anyways, I am not a financial advisor. This is just financial education that I've done my research on. And do your investment before, do your research before you make any investments. By the way, this video can be sort of research. Anyways, let's get into it. That was weird, but whatever. So, anyways, first up, the major indices moved up. The Dow Jones surged more than 846 points, closing at a new record high above 45K $600. Okay. The S&P 500 climbed about 1.5, finishing the day just shy of its all-time high of 6,466. The Nasdaq rallied 2%, gaining almost 400 points to close at 21K 496. And small caps really stole the spotlight with the Russell 2000 jumping nearly 4%, almost at 4,000. But why did the market rally like that? Obviously, y'all read the title, y'all saw the thumbnail. Jerome Powell spoke today. That's right. So Jerome Powell came in and he spoke at the Jackson Hole event. Powell signaled that the Fed is ready to cut interest rates, and that shot the freaking charts up. Now, I know y'all don't want to just see me. I know y'all want to look at the charts as well. So I'm going to pull up the chart so that way y'all can see what happened. So this is what happened today, guys. Look at that. My. So as you can see, I'll open up the 1 day view. So for the most part, the morning, the market pretty much shot up more in the morning, and then right before the event, as you can see right here, things started falling. It probably took like 3 to 2 minutes, maybe 2 to 3 minutes, for the market to start falling, and then as soon as the market started, or as soon as Powell started speaking, everything just shot up, and it stayed up. It tried to fall down just a little bit, but everyone was just bullish. The sentiment was bullish. Fed cut rates, that means more money, that means more people take out money. The market loved it, and look, it priced it in. But this was an overall crazy week. Look at this, guys. The market started up here, right? This is Monday. And it trickled down a little bit throughout Monday. Actually, it kind of stayed stagnant. It basically just like jumped up and down. It consolidated all day, Monday, including Tuesday. It made some moves. It fell down a little bit, but for the most part, on Wednesday, actually Tuesday, from the start of the day, around 9:45, look at this. Look at this big drop. Crazy move down. Formed a nasty bear flag to Wednesday. Wednesday fell again, and then about midway through the market hours, things started going back up. And look, now they're all the way back up to where Monday was. So if you took advantage of that, congratulations. I know you made some crazy money, because man, that's crazy. Anyways, let's get back into it. Let me give you guys more insights. Let me talk more. Let me talk about the stats a little bit, because I know that's what y'all want to hear. I want to hear what happened. So like I said, Powell signaled for rate cuts, and the market liked it. That sent treasury yields lower, lifted stocks across the board, including crypto. I'm going to open up crypto in a bit, but traders now see an 85% chance of a September rate cut, a big jump from earlier in the week. Now, let's talk about the sectors. So overall, Intel popped up 5% after news of the government stake. Nvidia added nearly 2%. That's crazy. And Norwegian Cruise Line and Delta Airlines both gained 6%, guys. That's wild. That's crazy. 1% is crazy. 6? All right. So retail was mixed. So TJX rose after strong earnings. Lowe's outperformed with a solid outlook, but Walmart dragged the sector lower after a weak earning report. And in the earnings, Oh my gosh, Zoom soared to nearly 13% after its best revenue over in the 3 years. And Palo Alto Networks also impressed with a strong outlook. Meanwhile, Nordisk jumped on an FDA approval, but Viking Therapeutics tumbled after a trial setback. Now, here are some stocks to continue looking out for. So, Nvidia, obviously, if you keep your eyes off in it, if you take your eyes off of Nvidia, are you really an investor? Like, what are you doing? But Nvidia, with rate cuts on the horizon and continued AI momentum, this one remains the market leader. And I don't know who's going to top it soon because this rate cut right here is going to take it up even higher. We may see 200 before, I believe we're going to see 200 before the year ends. And by the way, Nvidia had a stock split last year and they're nearly at 200 now. That's crazy. But Intel, the big government is backing news today, could give it a long-term upside. Zoom, they had a huge revenue beat and momentum that can take that stock up even higher. So watch for sustained gains. Palo Alto Networks, cybersecurity demand is strong and their guidance was bullish. Novo Nordisk's, that the ticker symbol is NVO. The FDA approval is in obesity treatment, puts them in the spotlight for growth. Walmart, on the flip side, keep an eye out on for weak earnings because, like I said, they didn't do too well for their earnings, and this could mean that headwinds for retail are coming up soon. Now, in terms of small cap, the Russell 2000, if rate cuts do arrive, smaller companies could benefit more than the big tech companies. That's right, because they have more room to grow in comparison to Nvidia. It's crazy how Nvidia just continues to grow. They already have so much money, and the fact that they're still growing like that is crazy. But the smaller the company, the more they have room to grow. It's harder to continue to double your money the bigger you get. But overall, for the week, the Dow gained 1.5%, the S&P just touched around 0.3, and the Russell 2000 climbed over 3%, while the Nasdaq was slightly negative earlier in the week, but they bounced up today. Now, year to date, the Nasdaq is still leading with gains at 11%. The S&P is up 10%. The Dow is around 7%. The Russell 2000 nearly 6,000. Overall, this was a crazy day in the market, and honestly, I expected it to be crazy. I'm not surprised about how it played out because everyone was talking about it. A lot of the people that I watch on YouTube also talk a lot about news, and I don't like to keep up with the news, but for this case, I had to. And another stock that looks like it's gonna be heading up to the upside is HIMS. This is Nvidia right here. Look at that. Crazy. They were down at 172, 178. I have this trend line right here at 179, nearly 180. And their all-time high is right up here. I'm going to add another trend line right there for Nvidia because it looks like they keep touching that level. So I'm going to add it. I'm going to add a ray right here. That's another good line to look out for. I put it on the wrong side, but it's okay. I'm going to do this like that. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, HIMS is another stock that I see growing because they've been getting beat up for the past 4 weeks. And if they can get back up to even halfway from where they haven't fallen from, that would be insane. Guys, I have been tracking HIMS for the longest now since the year started, since they made it to the big boys, since everyone has been talking about them. And look at this. Look at that, guys. They've been getting beat up. Look at that. They fell from 70, and on Wednesday they touched 40. That's crazy. So imagine this big jump right here. They could, if they go up even halfway to about 52, that's actually another big level right there. If they have a big day, they're gonna try to touch 52. So HIMS is one that I'm looking out for a crazy bounce. And for the most part, there's so many stocks you can keep an eye out for. Like I said, the Fed are thinking about cutting rates in September. There's an 85% chance that they're gonna cut rates. So keep an eye out on companies like HIMS that could move to the upside. But for the most part, that's how the market is playing out. It was just one of those tricky days that you didn't know what was gonna happen. And before the event, I thought that the market was gonna fall, because yesterday I heard a lot of analysts were saying that things were gonna fall based off history and the meeting's history and all. Things typically fall during this meeting, but things actually shot up. But anyways, that's how the market played out this week. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm Jonathan Panda, aka Reviews for Success. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, follow, leave your feedback in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, y'all take care.